here after the first cases of COVID-19 reached Georgia. We are learning more about the impact it has had on everyday lives.
Tonight, CBS 46 anchor Tracy Hutchins looks at how the virus has left lingering effects and changing behaviors. Tracy.
Well, it certainly has, Rick and Sean. As brutal as 2020 was, there have been lessons learned about COVID. So we tracked down a couple. They put their focus on survivors and those still suffering from long haul syndrome. We've been tracking the numbers for a year. 500,000 Americans dead and millions more recovering from COVID-19.
When you hear about something from somebody you know, it makes it real.
That's the mission Morgana Wingard has set out with her project, COVID-19 Survivor Diaries. For the last year, the New York City-based filmmaker and her husband have traveled across the country to tell the stories of survivors. They learned the influence of telling stories working in Liberia during the Ebola outbreak.
It made a huge impact in changing people's attitudes around the virus and therefore changing their behaviors.
They've shared the stories of 140 people from 28 states. That includes Atlanta native Gail Brooks. She contracted COVID early on in the pandemic.
All of a sudden, my chest tightened and I couldn't breathe.
Nearly a year later, she's able to catch her breath, but she still suffers from fatigue and brain fog.
My speech patterns were interrupted. I was struggling to recall words just in normal conversation.
Doctors estimate 2/3 of COVID patients will suffer from long hauler syndrome, experiencing symptoms well beyond the 2-week incubation period. That means Gail is one of millions of Americans with lingering effects of the virus.
This was the first time in my life that I had contemplated my mortality and thought maybe I might not make it.
Contemplating her mortality and the wellness of others led her to partner with Fulton County in an initiative called Alive and in Color.
So let's begin by
the program seeks to reach Black and brown communities with trustworthy information through human connection.
People connect to people.
Connecting people in hopes of teaching lessons and changing perspectives.
We have to understand how viruses like this spread and how we can protect ourselves and our communities and our loved ones so that this doesn't happen again.
Well, it is also fascinating and eye-opening as well. Now, you can learn more about the COVID-19 Survivor Diaries as well as Alive and in Color. All you have to do is head to our website, cbs46.com. We put links to both.